Have you ever wondered why you keep reacting in ways that sabotage your relationships, even though you know better? You promise yourself you will stay calm next time, but in the moment, something takes over and the damage is already done. What most people don't realize is that the problem is not anger, stress, or emotion itself. The real problem is an invisible habit of reacting automatically, and today, we are going to break that habit at its root. Most advice about emotional control focuses on calming down after the fact, but the real leverage point is earlier, before your reaction even feels like a choice. The biggest mistake people make is believing that emotional reactions are spontaneous and unavoidable. In reality, they follow a predictable internal pattern that can be interrupted and reshaped with practice. This video is not about suppressing emotions or becoming emotionally numb. It is about learning how to stay in control when your emotions are at their strongest. When people react impulsively, it is usually because their brain has switched into survival mode. In this state, speed matters more than accuracy. Your mind is scanning for threats, not truth. This is why later, when things settle down, you often think, "That wasn't really me." That feeling is important because it tells you that a different, wiser part of you exists, but it went offline in the moment that mattered most. The core skill of emotional resilience is learning how to keep that wiser part of you online under pressure. This does not happen through willpower alone. Willpower is unreliable when emotions spike. Instead, resilience comes from awareness, especially awareness of the body. Long before your thoughts spiral, your body reacts. Your chest tightens, your jaw clenches, your breathing changes. These sensations are not random. They are early warning signals, and most people ignore them until it is too late. One of the most damaging mistakes is waiting until you feel overwhelmed to try to calm down. By then, your nervous system is already flooded. Real control begins the moment you notice those first physical shifts. That moment is your window of choice. Even a few seconds of awareness can prevent minutes, hours, or even years of regret. Another hidden trap is mislabeling emotions. People often say they are angry, when underneath they are actually hurt, embarrassed, or afraid. When you mislabel what you feel, you choose the wrong response. Anger demands confrontation, but hurt often needs boundaries, and fear often needs reassurance. Simply naming the emotion accurately creates distance between you and the reaction, and that distance is where control lives. It is also critical to understand that many intense reactions are not really about the present moment. They are echoes from the past. A comment from a coworker may sting, not because of what was said, but because it touches an old belief that you are not respected or valued. When you fail to recognize this, you fight the wrong battle. Emotional maturity means asking not just what am I reacting to, but why does this matter so much to me? Once you recognize the trigger and understand its deeper meaning, you gain the ability to choose. This is where most people think they need the perfect response. They don't. They just need a response that aligns with their values instead of their impulse. Sometimes that means speaking up calmly. Sometimes it means stepping away and addressing the issue later. Strength is not loud, it is intentional. Building this kind of resilience does not mean you will never react emotionally again. That expectation is unrealistic and harmful. The real progress is reacting less often, less intensely, and recovering faster when you do slip. Every time you pause instead of exploding, you are training your nervous system to trust you. Over time, this rewires how your brain responds to stress. Emotional resilience is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in small, ordinary interactions where you choose awareness over autopilot. Start with low-stakes situations. Practice noticing your body. Practice naming your emotions. Practice choosing responses that future you will respect. With consistency, what once felt impossible becomes natural. The goal is not to eliminate emotion, but to lead it. When you learn to respond instead of react, you stop giving away control to every trigger in your environment. You become steadier, clearer, and more aligned with who you actually want to be. And that is a skill that changes everything.